I hope my background is good. I just said to try something new for the new year. New year, new background. Just kidding. Okay, let's get to the video proper. Hello, welcome back to my channel. My name is Jade. Happy New Year to my new subscribers and also my returning subscribers. I hope you had an amazing Christmas and New Year celebration. I wish you an amazing 2025, and the goal of this channel for this year is to help you create a home, to create a space that you do not need a vacation from. So that said, today I'm talking about how to combine patterns in your space. The reason why I decided to do this video is because people somehow feel that you shouldn't use too much pattern in your space, and when you do so, it makes your space look busy. While I agree with it to a large extent, I believe using patterns in your space is a very easy way to upgrade your space and get a much more sophisticated look. So how do you combine patterns in your space? I'm going to give you some pretty easy guidelines you can use. It's just a template you can use, but if you follow those templates, you'll be able to achieve using patterns in your space without it looking like you own a fun show or a fun house. Before that, which areas in your space can you actually incorporate patterns? So you can incorporate patterns with your wall. That means when you use things like wallpaper or wall panels. You can incorporate patterns with your window treatment. So your curtains could be patterned, your blinds could be patterned. So things like your Roman blinds or your linen blinds, they could be patterns. Other places include your pillows. Your throw pillows could come in patterns. Your blankets could be patterned. Your rug could be patterned. So how do you combine these different parts of your home that you can use patterns and still achieving much more clean and neat look? My number one tip would be to decide what type of pattern you're going with. So there are different types of patterns. You have the floral patterns, you have the stripe, you have abstract, you have print, you have geometric. So you need to decide which pattern you're going with. As a general rule, you shouldn't use more than 2 patterns in your space. It's just because it's much easier to use 2 different patterns than to use different types of patterns. So what do I mean? You can decide to use either stripes and floral patterns together in your space. That means that at every point in time you need to use a pattern, you either use stripes or floral, and you need to keep repeating those patterns at different parts in your room or in your space, or whichever way you're using the patterns. So stick to 2 patterns. I wouldn't advise you going to 3. People can actually go to 3, but it takes a lot of work and you need to be very, very methodological in selecting the pattern. So 2 is ideal. 3 might be a bit too much. It might be difficult to combine 3 different patterns, but 2 is quite easy to work with. So that's it. That's my very first tip. Now once you've selected the type of patterns you're going to work with, it's now the colors also matter. It is better to use patterns that are in the same family of colors than patterns that have in different family of colors. So if you're unsure of what I mean, I've done a video on how to use colors in your space. I'm going to put the link at the end of this video so you can watch it and be able to understand what I mean. But just to give you a brief summary, colors are in different families. Apart from your primary, your secondary colors and your tertiary colors, you have warm colors and cool colors. So if you are going for patterns, get out your colors circle is important, and look at colors that are close to each other. So green, yellow are quite in the same family of colors. So if you want to select patterns or choose patterns, you want to go with patterns that have green with them or yellow in them. I hope it makes sense. But if you watch my videos on color, you'll be able to understand what I mean by all those different terms I've used. So choose patterns that are in the same family of colors. It gives you a very seamless look. It doesn't look too harsh and doesn't look like you're doing too much. It's just very clean and easy that way. That's it. When you now want to, when you've picked the patterns you want to work with, you've chosen the colors you're working with, you now to the size of the patterns also matters. So patterns can come in different sizes and shapes. So some patterns are really, really large. They're very bright and out there, while you have like very subtle patterns. So when you want to combine patterns, go with, you combine very large patterns with very medium or subtle patterns. You don't want to combine like very bright floral patterns down that very bright floral pattern. It might be too much and might look too in your face. So you can take like a very bright floral pattern, like a bright floral pattern, and combine it with a very subtle stripe pattern. An easy way is for your throw pillows. You can get like a throw pillow that is very brightly patterned, maybe it's in floral, and take like a very subtle stripe pattern and combine it with it. Or you can use polka dots, a very subtle polka dots with a very large stripe. So mix the size of your pattern. So if you get a very large pattern, you take a very medium one or a subtle one and combine them together. And then finally, when you're selecting your pattern, repetition matters. So if you're doing a floral cutting, and at that point you're saying you could repeat that same floral pattern, not the same fabric. It could be a different fabric. It should be a different fabric. It could be a different fabric. But when you've done it, let's say you've done a floral cutting, then you can do like a floral pattern throw pillows and pick another type of pattern, like a stripe pattern blanket or another stripe pattern throw pillow. What I'm saying is that repetition matters. You need to keep repeating those patterns at different points in your space. You keep repeating it in different points in your space so that it looks as if the whole space is tied together. You don't just do pattern on just one place. You just do pattern on just your curtains. And I can't see any other pattern anywhere in your space. It doesn't look like you've really thought about it. But if you've done pattern on your curtains, I'm seeing a bit of pattern on your throw pillows, another pattern on your blankets, just little patterns here and there, your space will have a very cohesive look and to look well tied together. And my final tip will be, you need to have a solid color background. So your wall most likely will be plain. But even if you're going to wallpaper your wall, you're going to use floral wallpaper in your space, then at some point in your space, your furniture should most likely be a plain one. Do you get? You need to have what I mean. You need to have like a solid background that those patterns can fall on so they can be able to so those patterns can really show up in your space. So I wouldn't say pattern your whole wall, your chairs, your throw pillows, your rug. But that's not what I'm saying is that you're going to pattern your whole wall. You can actually wallpaper your whole wall, like you can wallpaper the whole room is possible. But if you're doing that, it means that your furniture would be plain. You wouldn't go for another brightly patterned furniture. It's better you go for a plain furniture. Then you can now incorporate like patterned throw pillows or subtly patterned blankets to make the space look nice and cohesive. So that will be the end of this video. I hope you find it very insightful, and I hope you've been able to get some insights on how to use pattern in your space. Do not forget to watch the video on how to combine colors, which will be showing in the next view somewhere in your screen. And do not forget to like this video, share it with your loved ones, and if you've not subscribed, please subscribe. Again, if you feel there's a topic you want me to talk about as regards interior design, you can send me an email or you can just put it in the comment section and I'll work towards doing that. Until my next video, have an amazing week, amazing day, and I'll see you then. Bye.